Hello, I'm just making a video that I hope people will find useful. I know before I went to Euro Disney, I looked on YouTube at videos and I didn't find anything really sort of useful. There was a few bits, but I thought generally it wasn't that good. This is one of these boring videos where I'm back home from Euro Disney. I'm not in Paris, and it's just me rambling on about my experiences at Euro Disney. So I'll start with the flight. So we flew from Gatwick to Charles de Gaulle Airport. At Gatwick, you fly an EasyJet. There's like an automated bag drop. So you have to go to level 1. You put your bags on the belts. You scan your boarding pass, and then that gives you a ticket that then you have to put in your own bag and press send, and then the bag goes off and you sort of send your own bag. Not like the good old days when you would turn up at a desk and they would sort of do it for you. So that's where we started, sort of thing. So we got on the plane, no issues. I got an email, I'd booked the tickets, but I got an email saying that EasyJet had changed their hand luggage policy to a smaller bag that you're supposed to put under the seat. And I'd read that EasyJet had sort of locked the overhead lockers. If you were in towards the back of the plane, they'd lock the overhead lockers so you couldn't put your bags in the overhead lockers and you had to stow them under your seats. Well, that's wrong. The overhead lockers have not got any locks on, so they can't lock them. So to be honest, I would say don't pay to stash your bag in the overhead locker. Just go with I'll take a small hand luggage bag and I'm going to put it under my seat. As soon as you get on the plane, stick it in the overhead locker. Put your coat in the overhead locker, because there's nothing they can do. They're all open. You're just paying money for something that you don't need. So that's a good tip. So anyway, we get to Charles de Gaulle Airport, and basically, you go to passport control, look at your passport, and we were straight through. There was no COVID checks. They didn't want to see a barcode of your NHS app or anything like that. There was basically nothing going on COVID-wise. So, if people are worried about printing off their NHS COVID certificate or anything like that, I wouldn't worry, because they didn't want to see anything. And then we had to get from the airport to the magical shuttle bus. And I'd booked this magical shuttle bus, which goes from the airport to the hotel. And to be honest with you, it's a nightmare. That the airport is massive. And on your piece of paper that you get, it says that you need to go to 2E, 2F. And I kid you not, sort of walking around the airport to try and find this magical shuttle bus, it felt like a 2-mile walk. It's absolutely horrendous. In fact, I was talking to somebody at the hotel who was getting on the magical shuttle bus to go back to the airport, and they were telling me that they gave up. They'd paid for the outbound, and they were sort of walking around the airport, couldn't find it, and in the end they used the train and did it that way because they couldn't find the magical shuttle bus. So bear that in mind. It is really hard to find. Once you're on the magical shuttle bus, they want you to wear masks and they want you to put your seatbelts on. I guess it's probably a French thing, public transport, but yeah, masks, and they really want you to put your seatbelt on. So that's it, and then we got the magical shuttle bus to our hotel. I'm not going to talk about the hotels because that's in my videos, if you look at me other videos that are on the channel. Now I'll talk about the going to the Euro Disney park. So on the first day we turned up, we came out of our hotel, got the free shuttle bus, got to the Euro Disney park. You basically turn up at the bus station, which is opposite like the train station, and then it's just a little short walk to the security. So you first walk to the security, and it's a bit like being at an airport. So they've got scanners and they've got bag what do they call it, machines for when you put your bag through, like an airport, like scanners. Put your bag through, and they can scan your bag. And you take your phone out your pocket, and you go through a metal detector. So that's the first thing you go through. You go through the security, and then you've got to decide which part you're going into. Like I said, straight on. If you walk straight on from the security, you're into Disney Studios. If you had a right, then you're into Disneyland Paris. So basically, on the first day we went into Disney Studios. Then you come to like it's a bit like a train barrier, sort of automated, and you've got this sort of plastic card that you put in the scanner, or you put on like a barcode reader type thing, and then the doors open and it lets you in. I was quite happy with the parks. They're clean, the toilets are clean, they're well run, the staff are friendly. On our second day, we went on the Big Rock Thunder Mountain, and my partner camera fell out of her pocket. We went back and said, we've lost the camera, and they sort of said, wait there. And as the cars were coming back in, they couldn't do enough to help you. They found the camera and gave it back. So yeah, the staff, I would say, really friendly. The park's clean, well run. No issues there. They'll say the only issue I would say is the queues. We went to the parks on a Monday, a Tuesday, and a Wednesday. Monday didn't seem too bad. We got to the park probably about 9:30, and we got on quite a few rides quickly. And the queues weren't too bad. I think the sort of longest queue we had to wait, we went on this Hollywood Tower of Terror, and that took about 45 minutes. But most of the rides we went on, you were on in sort of 10 minutes or 15 minutes. It was sort of pretty quick. If you've seen that Hollywood Tower of Terror, it's basically a drop ride. So it's like a big building, and you go into like an elevator, and there's probably about sort of 15 people sat in this elevator in a seat, and you have like a small lap belt that you put on, and I didn't think it would drop that far, but basically you go to the top of the building, and then it drops all the way to the bottom of the building. When they said tighten your lap belts up, I wasn't taking it too seriously, so mine was sort of fairly sort of loose. So as the car was dropping inside the elevator shaft, I was flying in mid-air. My body left the seat, and when it stopped, then my body dropped back down again. So it is quite a scary ride. But I would say probably that and the big Thunder Mountain rides are good. There's also what they call Star Wars Tours, which is a 3D ride. Basically you walk in, and there's probably again sort of 15 of you sat in this what looks like a spacecraft, and C-3PO is flying the spacecraft. You put your 3D goggles on, there's a screen at the front, and you're flying through space, dodging missiles and lasers and crashing on planets and things like that. And obviously the car is moving side to side, sort of tilting you as you sort of crash through things. So that's a really good ride. I would recommend that. What I would say, there is a premier queue jumping pass. You can upgrade your ticket for 16. I think it's €16. You can upgrade your ticket, and then that gets you in quicker because you jump the queue. I would say I would do that. I mean, we didn't do it because I'm a bit tight-fisted, but I would say if you go in, especially if you're only going for a day or 2 days, I would say definitely upgrade your ticket and have this premium entry, because you would literally, all these rides that are 45 minutes, I reckon you'd be in there in there within about 10 minutes. So it's well worth doing. if you're staying in a Disney hotel, you can get in the park earlier, and you can actually get in the park at 8:30. So what I would recommend that you do is, like I said, is to probably turn up at the park at sort of 8 o'clock. You know, sort of walk. If you go into, I think the longest queues I saw was for this Big Rock Thunder Mountain ride. So what I would recommend you do, that's not at Disney Studios. That's at Disneyland Paris. So if you go to that, get yourself through the barriers into the park. As soon as you walk into the park, there's like a tunnel way, and then what you need to do is look behind you, sort of turn around and look up, and there's a train, there's like a steam train. Walk up the stairs, get onto that steam train, and then that steam train goes all the way around the park and stops at the different lands. But the main thing is, the first stop is Frontierland, where Big Rock Thunder Mountain is. So if you get on the train, get off at the first stop, and then sort of walk down, you sort of walk off the platform, walk through this Frontierland, and then you'll see the sign for Big Rock Thunder Mountain. Get yourself on the ride straight away, and I reckon you could be on the ride 10-15 minutes, as opposed to later on in the day where honestly I reckon it could take you 2 hours, 3 hours to get on. So I think that's, you know, a good tip. Another thing I would say is food. Now I watched some reviews, food reviews on YouTube of where to eat, and you know, there's a girl, a well-known girl, I think her name's Sam, and she was going in various places. She went into this Annette's Diner, which is basically, it's like an American diner, and the staff are on roller skates. And I've seen a few videos on this, and people are going, "Oh, it's really great. You know, it's the best burger I've ever had." Well, I tell you what, it's substandard. It's expensive. You definitely don't want to be doing that. So I've seen another video which somebody's going on about. There's a place called the Cable Car Bakehouse, or where you can go in and get donuts and freshly baked goods, have a coffee and have your breakfast in the morning. Well, again, it's absolutely crap. They've got like donuts everywhere selling these donuts. They've got like Mickey shaped donuts with jam in. They've got sort of cookies, and they've got sort of muffins, chocolate muffins and white chocolate muffins. Well, I tell you what, they're that crap, they're that poor. You get a better muffin in Lidl's, right? So all this, you know, people saying, "Oh, go to this restaurant, oh, it's marvellous," or "go to that." I would say generally the food I wasn't impressed with. It's pretty crap. Now, when you're looking at the French people going round, they're all carrying rucksacks, and they're all taking their own food with them. They're not buying all this ridiculously expensive crap food that's at Disney. So if you want a tip, I would say maybe take some food with you. Save yourself a bit of money, because, as I say, these reviews, you know, I keep seeing these reviews on these sort of cafes and things like that, and I reckon people must be getting backhanders or like free meals, because, you know, like I said, that Cable Car Bakehouse is absolutely crap, so forget about that. But say, I'm going to sum up now. You know, I enjoyed my time at Euro Disney. I think it's well worth going if you've got young kids. You know, it's really great, they'll enjoy it, but just bear in mind, you know, if you've paid a lot of money, you know, if you've paid £1,000 or something to get there, once you get there, you know, it can be very expensive for food and if you want to buy anything, like, you know, sort of like t-shirts or clothing, because literally, you know, it's everywhere. Mickey Mouse is, you know, that's mega expensive. Like I said, if you look at my video, my list of videos, you know, we went on the Buzz Lightyear laser blast ride, and I bought a photo which was in a cardboard frame, €35, and then they want €4 for a bag. So it is expensive, but I wouldn't stop that putting you off going, because it is worth it. It is a good experience, and that's all I'm doing for now. All right, cheers, bye.